Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 17. In today's episode, we're going to talk about insults and anger. This is something that, as a safety professional, that you will experience. It would be great if we were non-feeling robots, um, but there is a lot of comments and criticism, especially after an incident happens. Um, I've had people say to me, you should have been there when the manhole cover fell on the guy's foot, and would have been pretty awesome to be there. But when you're covering multiple states and multiple job crews, it's just not reasonable. So at times, I believe all of us, and when I do this podcast, I'm also talking about me, have experienced insults and anger, and as a young safety professional, I believe I did not handle it very well at all the first couple of months. And it took me a while. And even now, I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm still in the process of learning more and more every day, experiencing more. Let's just go ahead and get started on this short and sweet. It does have things to do with safety, but I wanna talk about more about how we're going to tackle and manage ourselves in the workplace too. So I started to think about this, and I got a lot of advice from a lot of different people, and I kind of sat down. I listened to a couple other different podcasts. One in particular, I really want to thank Jocko. He does such a good job in the leadership area of just really sitting down and spelling out. Both of us are veterans, so that is something that I tend to gravitate towards more. Um, but when we sit down and think about insults, the big thing to ask ourselves is why does an insult hurt? You know, and for me, I kind of thought about it, and a lot of times there is a little bit of truth in the insult for me, and that is why I do get angry at times. I can't think of a time when a guy said, "This is awful. Your program is," and of course he went into this long thing, and he wasn't wrong. Doesn't mean he was 100% right, but I know because I stress continuous improvement that I wish I could say that my programs, my training, my processes, all that stuff was 100% on track. At times it's not because we're discovering new things. There's new hazards in the workplace. Plus the nature of continuous improvement. At times we're uncovering things that have been there the whole time and almost in a dormant or cocoon state. Um, so it's taken me 30 years, and I think I've done a good job now of just sitting back and not responding to anger and insults and everything else, and just kind of understanding that am I mad because it just there is a shred of truth to it, um, and really what part of that shred of truth is out there. So I can go back and I can say, it doesn't mean that the person said it in the best words and the best tone and all the other stuff. But if there is a shred of truth, I should go back and say, yes, you're right in the following cases or the following things, and this is how I'm going to go back and fix it. You know, a natural reaction many times when there's anger is just to respond with harsh words. Well, again, it's taken me a number of years, but nothing has ever gotten solved with harsh words. Doesn't mean that we're not all human and we don't lash out at times, but really nothing got solved. You know, so for me at least, of course, when I say the best advice, I really mean what works for me. I definitely can't say what's going to work for everybody out there. Is just sit down, keep a cool head, and judgment too, because just like when you're raising kids, your kids are watching you a lot more than what they're listening to you. And if they can see that you're angry and out of control and everything else too, it really it it doesn't do anything but help prove their point a lot of times. Then, so just sit back, have a cool head, think about it, do everything you can to not respond after you've thought about it. Then respond in a calm, cool, and collective way. Um, It can be especially harsh if it's in an open forum. Well, then you go back to that open forum and you say, and here's how I'm going to fix the following things that were brought up, um, and thank that person. You would hope the person could bring it up in a much more professional way. Uh, some people don't have all the skills that we do out there. And when I say that, I'm still gathering skills. So please don't think I have all the answers. And that's it for today's episode. Nice, short, and sweet. I just got started thinking about insults and anger and how I believe, at least over the 30 years that I've been doing it, I'm such a different person than from day one. And a lot of it really is just understanding when somebody has the criticism, the insult, and of course, typically insult is typically personal. Sometimes they're insulting your safety stuff, but sometimes it's also about you, and that hurts too, of course, in this whole thing. So thank you for joining me today. This was episode 17, where we talked about insults and anger. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you for joining me today, and have a safe day.